Hi guys, Karen here. Wanted to have a chat to you about what's happening in our world. Some crazy stuff going down at the moment, isn't there? Really wild things happening. I think most of the people that know, that watch my show, that what is going on in the mainstream narrative is not necessarily the truth of what's playing out in our world. And there are so many people that have their opinions on exactly what is going on, and they have there's just so many people with so many opinions, and good and bad. I've heard, I have the benefit of knowing a lot of people, and obviously I've showcased a lot of people on the show, and I have a lot of clients and people in groups and stuff like that, so I get around, and people are just sending me stuff, and I'm receiving all of it and reading all of it because I'm fascinated to see how people think. And what I find is that even the most loving, beautiful light weavers, New World teachers are buying into a narrative or an agenda that is not benefiting this world. So I just got off a live stream with the beautiful Zane Daniels, who I've had on the show. He's just fantastic. Go and watch my show with Zane. He's wonderful. I've had him into the Inner Sanctum too. And so what Zane's been doing this year, he sold his house, I think it was last year, and he renovated this van, and he was traveling around, and then of course the lockdowns happened and he couldn't travel around. He was traveling around America. So he's been staying at a friend's place, and he's really, one of these newer or younger light workers that was working in the mainstream, and then he had an epiphany, an awakening, and he really wants to sort of be a part of creating a new world, and just activated to why he's here on earth. And he's a brilliant teacher, a beautiful teacher of all that I teach, deliberate creation and how we flow our energy and all sorts of things. He has a comic book called Righteous, and he's put a lot of these teachings, a lot of the spiritual teachings, into the comic book, so people that read comic books are getting the teachings, which I find fabulous. And he's also wanting to turn that into sort of like a Netflix series. But he's doing a higher self expo. He's done one already, interviewing light weavers or light workers from around America predominantly. And he's doing another one in September, which I'm speaking at, and we just had a little chat live online. So go over to his Facebook page. It's called Higher Self Expo, or you can see his YouTube channel. It's called Zane Daniels. But the theme of the next one is creating a fifth dimensional reality. What does that look like? And what I want to say to you is that this is where I want you to put your focus. Okay, so there's a lot of stories around the evil cabal and the pedophiles and the adrenochrome and the lockdowns and the control. And, there's just so many stories going around. And a lot of light weavers feel like it's their duty to expose the bad people and talk about it. But if you understand how vibration and creation works, what you give your attention to expands, be it good or bad. Where you place your powerful focus and talk about it, and the more energy that you put into it, when you're disgusted at something and appalled at something, you actually create more of it. There's an incredible law, that says what you resist persists. So as you judge something and hate it and say, no, I don't want this, Esther Hicks would say, you cannot scream no in a vibrational universe, because your no, especially the more energy and frequency and emotion behind that no, expands the energy. So as somebody, and as I know that you are, as somebody who is an uplifter of this world, a new world teacher, a difference maker, it will serve you, and it'll serve humanity, to focus on what you want to create. And that's why I'm so excited about Zane's Expo, how to create a fifth dimensional, how we perceive and see and create a fifth dimensional reality. So fifth dimensional consciousness is still somewhat polarized in energy, but not as polarized as third dimensional consciousness, which means that we still can go through challenges and drama, but just not the same as what we're going through now, because fifth dimensional beings understand the power of focus, and they understand that what you give your attention to grows. So what do you want to create in this world? What do you want to see? when you're looking at something that you don't agree with, so the control and the lockdowns and the forced mandatory this and the mandatory that, and you can't gather in groups and you can't go and see your your loved ones in nursing homes, and you're going to be forced to have a vaccination if you want to put your kid into school, or if you want to go and see your grandmother or your mother in a nursing home. There's just so many rules and things happening at the moment. What do you want to create? Because what happens when drama happens? It's like a car crash, isn't it? You drive past a car crash, you can't help but look at it. It like grabs your attention. And this is what the media has been doing. The mainstream media, the news, has been doing. Someone that worked in news told me that there is this thing in the newsroom that says, if it bleeds, it leads, because I want to grab your attention. I want you to focus on this. The newsrooms and the television station want you to look at something, so they're going to present drama to grab your attention, knowing that your attention is powerful. Your attention, I mean, we're all on screens at the moment and everyone's trying to grab everybody else's attention, right? So where are you going to put your attention? There's a great saying that says, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So intention might be, I am a light weaver, I'm a light worker, I'm a new world teacher, I'm a difference maker. I'm here to make a difference, whether it's in my family or my society or my country or the world or the galaxy. I'm here to make a difference and be an uplifter and a teacher and a spiritual healer or whatever. So that's your intention. But where is your attention? I'm focusing all that's going wrong in the world in order to fix it, but I keep looking at it. It's grabbing my attention. People that want to be rich or healthy, for instance, maybe health, maybe you have pain in your body. And pain gets your attention, doesn't it? It gets your attention. It sure does. So you have this intention to feel free and to feel pain-free, but the pain keeps drawing your attention back to the problem, and you keep focusing on the pain and focusing on the problem and how can I fix it and how can I fix it? A fifth dimensional being would take their powerful focus and attention off what's drawing their attention and put it on what they want. So how does it feel to be pain-free? How does it feel to be free? What does it look like? Can I visualize it? Can I feel it? Can I see it? Can I live it? Can I live more love in my life? If I want to live in a more loving, connected, harmonized community, can I be more loving and connected and harmonized? Instead of judging the bad man as wrong, can I love the bad man? I think that where we go wrong as humans is that we think that if we love something that's bad, we're agreeing with it, or we're condoning it, or we're expanding it. And the very opposite is true. Paul Selig, the guides through Paul Selig say, when you can look at something and see the divinity in it, your attention to the divinity in it completely transforms it. And so as we look at something we disagree with and see the play, the divine play, the Leela, the God that created it, the God force within it, our attention to seeing something as divine actually transforms it. It doesn't condone it. It doesn't expand it, which is something I think that we all need to remember as light workers at the moment with these crazy times. I was online on Facebook yesterday with some beautiful light workers who are doing amazing things, but they're promoting this narrative of, the evil people, and they're doing terrible things, and they keep talking about it because they feel like if I'm exposing them, I'm doing good work. Do we need them to be exposed? Yes, maybe. I don't know. Look, they think that the governments are going to arrest them and put them in jail, and the right over the wrong is going to win, and these people are going to be incarcerated for their crimes to humanity. It's still war, isn't it? It's still war. Do we want to participate in the war, or do we want to be peacemakers? This is a choice we're being asked at the moment. We're at a crossroad. It's like all these different timelines, all these different probable realities and probable futures have smashed into each other at the moment, and they're all circulating. And so as you look on the internet and you hear all these different what's happening, there was one girl on Facebook saying that the lockdowns are because we have to lock down society because all the police are going out to these secret locations and arresting all the pedophiles and they're all going carted off to jail. So we need to lock down for that to happen. And then there are other people saying that the lockdowns are happening because people are creating a new world order that's going to control us even more. And then other people are saying the lockdowns are happening because they're creating a new world that's going to benefit us. Look, there's so many stories going around. And as creators of our reality, what we focus on, we create. What we focus on, we create. And so there are timelines that have crashed into each other, and none of them are not true. I mean, these stories are not true or true because we get to choose. We get to create what we want to live. We are the creators of our reality. Our focus, our attention, and our belief creates our reality. What is it that you want to create? What world do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a fairer world where it's working for your benefit? Or do you want to feel controlled and like we live in an unfair world? As the fabulous Wayne Dyer said, and I've said this many times, I don't know if he was the original person that said it, you have to choose whether you live in a friendly or hostile universe, and that everything that's happening is happening for you and not to you. So even when the drama happens to you that you disagree with, whatever it is, illness, death, lockdowns, viruses, control, can you see how it's benefiting you as a human, as a soul having a human experience? So you as an extension of the creator, as an infinite source of infinite abundance and intelligence and creative potential, can you create from like the rising from the phoenix rising from the fire? Can you create, what you want and focus on what you want as you see what you don't want? Because every time we experience something we don't want, we give birth to a desire of something that we do. So when we do experience less freedom and, more control, there is a desire within us for more freedom. So what does freedom feel like? What does freedom look like? How do your thoughts feel free? How do how do your emotions feel free? What can you think about that gives you a sense of freedom? Where can you place your powerful attention and focus on something that makes you feel free? It's up to you. You are the creator of your reality, whether you're experiencing personal trauma, or this society trauma or global trauma that we're experiencing with all that's going on in our world. What can you create? Tell me in your comments. Show me what you want to, a world you want to live in. Give me your visions. How does the world that you want to live in look? So many people are saying, oh, the world looks so ugly. I just want to get out of here and be in heaven, or go to a new earth, or go to another planet, wherever you think. But we're here now, and we can create what we want with our powerful attention and focus. And remember, the more emotion, or the more energy, the more energy you put behind a thought, the faster it manifests, or the more powerfully it manifests, be it good or bad energy, what we perceive as good or bad. So the angrier you are at something and you put your focus on it, the more it comes at you. The more loving and the more joyous and the more excited you are at something and you put your powerful focus on it, the faster it comes at you. You get to decide this. There is nothing happening to us that we can't transform with the way we flow our energies. We are genius creators. And collectively, we have created what we're going through on planet Earth. In fact, we knew before we came that we would be here for this time, and that we would be a part of a society that would create a new world from the ruins of the old world. My guides have said to me many times that when you want to renovate your house, because I used to be an interior designer, they give me analogies that I really get. It's like if you want to build a new house, you have to smash down the old one. And so there are old systems and ways of living that are being destroyed so that we can, renovate them or build a new one. They said even if you want a new kitchen, you have to beat it, smash out the old kitchen, and you're going to be in chaos for a while. Your house is going to be in chaos for a while as you install the new kitchen. So there are people that are saying that there are governments that want to install a new government system that's not going to be beneficial for us. Okay, that might be true. That might be one timeline that if you put your focus on, that's where you'll go. That will be your future. Or you can say that the old systems are crumbling so that a new, fairer system of governments is going to come into place where we're not so controlled by corporations. We're controlled more as the democracy that we all thought we were living in, and we have more autonomy in the way that we live lives on planet Earth. Focus on what you want to create and you will go down that timeline. You will create that timeline. Remember, timelines at the moment are all intertwined with each other. And your choice and your decision about what you want to see will be the timeline that you exist on, that you travel down. I trust you. I know you guys can do this. Put your focus on what you want. And if you are going to look at what you don't like, see the Leela, see the divinity in it, as Paul said, like all the guides through Paul say. See the divinity in it and thank it. Be grateful. Be grateful for what you're experiencing instead of pushing against it. Can you be grateful for your pain? My guide said to me the other day, I said this to a client yesterday, I look at what I'm struggling with in my life, and I've cleaned up a lot of stuff, believe me. And I'm like, what's the one thing that, still upsets me? And what it is that I have the intention, as I said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I have the intention to get out and do more exercise and eat, less sugar and be thinner. That's my intention. My attention is on how fat I am. Like every time I pass a mirror, I go, oh my God, I'm so fat. Oh my God, I'm so fat. So my attention is on what I don't want instead of being on what I do want. See, I'm struggling with it too. And my guide said to me the other day, Karen, instead of judging your fat as something you don't want, you could just love it. And I'm just like sitting on the couch going, oh, of course, I teach this stuff. I teach this stuff. I should live it too. I could just love being fat instead of wanting to be thinner. I don't know. It's such a girl thing, isn't it? We're all trying to be thin all the time. Why can't we just be happy with being fat? But, as I age and get fatter, I have to say mobility is not as fluid as it used to be. And then I play these tricks with myself as I walk up the stairs and I feel the stiffness in my joints. I say to myself, is that what I want to create? Imagine not having the stiffness in my joints. And then I run up the stairs like I'm a teenager. Powerful stuff. And we're all learning to use it better. That's what we're doing in this time of great transition. We're learning to flow our energies in ways that create. And when we move into a more fifth dimensional reality, we'll understand this better. We'll understand that we're the creators of our reality. When you're dead, I've spoken to many people who have had near-death experiences or out-of-body experiences, and I've had them myself. We don't have this buffer of time. So we understand that thought creates, and it creates instantaneously. But in other dimensions, like in the spirit side, we don't have the dense energies that we work with here in the third dimension. And so we don't have angry or negative or fearful thoughts on the spirit side. I'm not saying in astral places on the earth. I'm saying when we've crossed over or moved to a higher frequency or higher dimension. So our thoughts create instantaneously, and we're not going to create terrible things instantaneously because we're not thinking it. But here on earth, we have this incredible variety of frequency to play with, and we have this buffer of time, and we are all students of learning how to work with it, how to mold the energy so that we can create a life and a world that we want. And sometimes we'll get it right and sometimes we'll get it wrong, but I honor you for being people that watch my shows and listen to me, that are doing your best to place your attention, your powerful attention, on what it is that you want to create, so that your intentions manifest. Love you all. See you soon. Bye for now.